Hi everyone, this is the news from Western Armenia, especially for you. 127 issue of Western Armenia Weekly released as a symbol of national memory. Following the internal legacy of Komitas Vardapet, countries asked the US to delay Iran strikes Trump. Photos of Armenian prisoners in Baku to be displaced at Paris City Hall. New study reveals Baku's destruction of Artsakh's cultural heritage. US bill demands protection of Artsakh's cultural heritage. Over 3,000 killed in Lebanon since March, Health Ministry. National Costume Festival held in Akhalkalaki. The 127th issue of Western Armenia Weekly has been published, featuring a symbolic Armenian door from 1188 preserved in Armenia, Yerevan. The cover symbolizes Armenian cultural heritage, historical continuity, and the enduring Armenian spirit. The issue includes articles about national memory, Armenian identity, and the preservation of historical and cultural values. The medieval door is presented not only as an architectural treasure, but also as a symbol of Armenian survival through centuries. The Western Armenia Weekly continues covering Armenian history, culture, national rights, and heritage preservation. It remains an important platform for Armenian culture and national discourse. The great figures of Armenian history and culture remain symbols of national pride and identity. Among them, Komitas Vardapet holds a special place as the legendary master of Armenian music. The recently published volume Komitas, published by Hostess Nalpantian, presented important chapters of Komitas' life letters, poems, and articles. The book also includes reflections and works by famous Armenian writers such as Hracia Ajaryan, Shushan Shanur, Yerishe Charens, and Hovannes Shiraz. This 477-page publication highlights both and cultural value of Komitas and the importance of preserving Armenian identity. The book presents Komitas as a symbol of the Armenian people's pain, spirit, and strength. Such works play an important role in preserving Armenian heritage, culture, and language. Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and several other countries asked the United States to postpone strikes against Iran for 2 or 3 days, believing a deal is close. This was announced by US President Donald Trump and the White House. Trump stated that if an agreement is reached preventing Iran from obtaining nuclear weapons, all sides would likely be satisfied. He also noted that the US informed Israel and several Middle Eastern countries about the delay decision. The statement comes amid ongoing tensions surrounding Iran's nuclear program and regional security. Paris Deputy Mayor Arnaud Nagache announced that photographs of Armenian prisoners held in Baku will be placed as the entire entrance of Paris City Hall. The decision was made as a gesture of solidarity and support. The news was shared on Facebook by Kypriot Armenian Hakop Kazanchyan. The initiatives aim to draw international attention to the issue of Armenian prisoners held in Azerbaijan. PhD Armenia Tigranyan's new study examines the destruction and portrayal of Artsakh's Armenian cultural heritage between 2020-2025. The work discusses the consequences of war, ethnic cleansing, and racial discrimination, as well as international mechanisms for cultural heritage protection. The monograph analyzes cases of unlawful targeted for Armenian cultural sites during and after the 44-day war. It is based on documents from UNESCO and UN ICOMS, the European Parliament, and other international legal sources. The study highlights the importance of protecting cultural heritage regardless of political circumstances. The book was published by the Modesty of Holy Ejmiadzin and is intended for specialists, students, and readers interested in Armenian cultural heritage preservation. The US Congress has introduced a bill requiring Baku to protect the cultural heritage of Nagorno-Karabakh and recognize the right of ethnic Armenians to return to their homes. The H.R. 6830 bill also demands the preservation of Armenian cultural and regional sites, the withdrawal of military forces from Armenia's sovereign territory, the release of Armenian prisoners of war, and the end of hostile actions against Armenia. The document requires the U.S. Secretary of Defense to regularly report to Congress on whether Baku is taking real steps to fulfill these conditions. The United States has also supported Armenian heritage preservation through other initiatives, including a letter signed by 87 members of Congress addressing the destruction of Armenian churches and monasteries. Another U.S. initiative aims to fund genocide against Armenia's education programs in American schools. Since the war between Hezbollah and Israel began on March 2, Israeli strikes in Lebanon have killed more than 3,000 people, according to Lebanon's Ministry of Health. The ministry reported 3,020 deaths and 9,273 injuries between March 2 and May 18. Among the victims are 211 minors and 160 healthcare workers, although a ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon was established on April 17. Military operations continue. The National Costume Festival was celebrated in Akhalkalaki on May 18. The event, held since 2017, brought together dance groups from different villages of the region. Participants gathering in the city center wearing traditional national costumes and performed a united Armenian dance. They later marched together to the Akhalkalaki Museum of Local Lore. Due to bad weather, the planned concert in Khas Bakhcha Park was moved to the House of Culture. Dance performances were presented by groups including Murji, Javakh, Korkh, Baralet and others. So this was all for today's news. If you want something to learn, you can easily find Western Armenia's website and read everything there. Thank you for watching.